Welcome back, YouTube. J-Bob, the video game slob, coming back at you. 5K, Black Friday, Spendathon, Marathon, Go Brokeathon. You figure it out. Some orders coming in. We got 3 orders in yesterday, and then 2 the day before that. Finally just catching up on things. Been a busy week, as one can imagine. Yeah, selling a lot of stuff, which is great. I sold $115 in LOL dolls the other day, so that was an interesting transaction. Bought them at a garage sale this summer and hoped that would pay off, and it did, so we got that going on for us. If you haven't been checking out VGP's sales this year, it has been just as crazy as it has been in other years, but I think maybe even a little crazier. It just seems like they've had really good stock. Maybe it's just that really good games are coming out. Or maybe it's that it's getting to be the end of the PS4, Xbox One, Switch lifetimes. And so, there's just a lot of stuff on the market. And so they can't keep stocking at all. So we're opening these up. As you can see, I'm unwrapping them with you here. This one, off the top of my head, was a limited run sale that they did. And so what's really great about VGP is their prices are Canadian. There we go. And so whenever you're buying stuff, it's really great because... you don't have to pay sales tax until you file your taxes. Always make sure to declare that stuff on your taxes. I'm sure all of you do. And you get the conversion rate, which is like, I don't know, something like 75%. So you get like almost like a 25% off with anything you're buying. So if I recall correctly, the Citizens Unite Earth Space was 20 bucks Canadian. So it's like, 15 American. So you're always having to convert. But yeah, some really good prices on that stuff. A lot of this stuff is limit 1, though. If they have these flash sales, and you really have to be following their Facebook and their Twitter and all this stuff to find this stuff. And so that's really great. But a lot of this stuff means, their games, obviously, I didn't want to buy when limited run released them. And obviously, at, $15, they're much cheaper, than they otherwise would be. And I love rail shooters, so I had to pick that one up. But it was probably 20 bucks or 15 bucks. Most of these are going to be 30 or 20 Canadian. And so, you can get these things much cheaper. And of course, the shipping is free as well, so you're not paying for that. The Wire, the horror tales, anything horror I try to pick up. Rail shooters I try to pick up. Shoot 'em ups, visual novels, tactical games, that kind of thing. And of course, if you've been following the channel lately, anything that's on the Xbox, especially from limited run or other limited print places, the resale value or the eBay value of these things is pretty high. Is anybody really buying them? No, but collecting them is seemingly super hard, especially in sealed condition. So that's really good. And as you can tell with VGP, the sealed condition actually comes in nicely. Whereas with the eBay, we'll look at a Sonic here in a bit that's not in great shape. And of course with Best Buy, you always get those stickers on them. And GameStop, if you order new, who even knows if it comes new or it might just come open box. This was a pre-order that just so happened to coincide with all the Black Friday stuff coming in. If you're not an Evercade fan, sorry, my name's in the Evercade. I was a backer, so I think I'm in the BIOS or whatever. I haven't bought all their consoles as they've released, but I think I own every one of their games. This was sort of a catch-up order. A lot of times if you wait, they discount things, and of course they ran a discount on a good handful of games that I ordered a second copy of, some of them on the Black Friday sale, so we'll see more of this coming in. The Data East, of course the Toaplan arcade, you got to pick up the shoot 'em ups. They just had some really good stuff, like the Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver coming out. So that's 41. So, geez, I have a ton of these. I had them on a shelf to begin with, and now that shelf's completely overrun. As you can see, there are different runs now that they have. And so this is the classic computing run. I think that's what they call these. But yeah, Bitmap Bros, 6 games. They always seem to... I don't know, put decent games, bring out decent titles. Yeah, Sunsoft Collection there. That's what, Kamikaze the Squirrel. Let's see if I got that right. It's Ben Omen. Oh, the Acrobat. That's right. Jeez. Oh, no. Yeah, duh. It is 0. Okay, see? Don't doubt yourself. But yeah, the Kamikaze Squirrel, quite an expensive game if you had to pick it up. Otherwise, that Euphoria, pretty sure got a PS4, PS5 release that people kind of went nuts for. Glover, classic N64 game. But yeah, Zero Tolerance. I think that was what the first shooter that came to consoles, that kind of thing. So they do really cool titles. So I've always tried to pick up at least one copy of all those games. Are these ever going to be worth anything? I don't think so. But they're like 20 to 25 bucks a piece, and so yeah, I guess 40 of them I've now spent like $1,000 on that collection. But who knows when it's going to stop? And so as long as they keep supporting cool publishers, they release cartridge-based games, with a little manual, I'll keep supporting that. So as we were going through one of the VGP sales, I was trying to pick up all the Sonics that I didn't have because they were getting pretty cheap. But, I saw this and I was like, well, I think it's a little cheaper on eBay. It was like 17, 18, 20 bucks, something like that. And I thought, well, it comes with the slipcover, comes with a 20-page art book. It's the classic Sonic. So I think I had the Origins, but didn't have Origins Plus somewhere in there. And you can see not in great condition because it came through eBay, but 20 bucks just to have that game. Let's just check all those off. When I was working the Black Friday down at the game store, just helping out my buddy. And by helping out, I mean drinking and answering the phone occasionally. He had a couple trade-ins come in, so we were helping with the trade-ins. I'm not going for the PS2 set, but anytime I see PS2 games anymore, I don't have. So I think he just gave these to me, or maybe they were $1 for the pair or 50 cents. I don't know. We agreed to something like that. But yeah, Pro Stroke Golf 2007. So obviously, let's see. Yeah, 21496. So within 200 or 300 of the last one. They weren't making a lot of PS2 games did it actually release in 2007? I guess it doesn't say. Yeah, right, there it was, 2006. So yeah, I mean, the Xbox 360 launched in 2005, just to give that some perspective, and so there weren't a ton of those games. Is it worth anything? No, but that's just why it was hard to find. I think this was the last of the numbered FIFAs I had. It's like I have 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever. But I didn't have 8, so stuff like that I'm not going to buy. You just have to happen into, and even when you see thousands and thousands of games, that sometimes they just don't show up, or I'm not in the store the day they did show up, or whatever. So grabbed that, got that out of there. Wow, these came in already. Okay, so this was, a lot of times they do drops by theme, like I said, limited run on the last order. So this was Idea Factory, whose games can be kind of tough to find. They're very sort of, I don't know if I would say fan servicey, but very, is that kawaii? I don't know what you'd call that. But yeah, so, there's ship girls, you're shooting each other, there's sort of this, I don't know, I guess it's a first-person shooter. I was watching the videos of it. It definitely was an interesting game. It sounded like you could play for hours and hours and hours to upgrade everybody to level 100. I think you could date your ships, it sounded like, so, I don't know, it seemed like a very interesting thing, so I ordered a couple copies for that, one for me, one for my buddy. Again, trying to just fill out these collections. Just start, so you start picking up the Neptunia games, and you don't pay attention, they release more, and so, of course you're going to pick up the RPGs. These were a little more expensive. The Idea Factory stuff never gets super cheap. These may be like 30 Canadian, 35 Canadian, so something like 25 American each. So these weren't super cheap. Again, just one of those games you always end up picking up on the DS and 3DS that have gotten really cheap, or that gotten kind of expensive, and then you realize, like, oh, I can still get a decently cheap copy of Ace Attorney, on the Switch. I haven't really been paying attention to a lot of Switch stuff, as you guys know. Had been trying to pick up all the first-party stuff, and this one's big. Oh, jeez. And so, I guess with that comes, I don't know, some of that Capcom stuff or those kind of things. The better games that you can get on there. This looks like another limited run drop that they must have made. There we go. See, this is going to be hard because, like I said, I have been buying the bejeebus out of games here. And so, upgrade, blah, 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 RPG. So anytime RPG-y stuff comes in, we're going to grab that. So we did. Oh my god, gosh, these are Chemco RPGs. Yeah, my buddy and I were fools. We picked up every one of them as they would drop on the PS4. And then, of course, now they have these collections on the Switch. I think there's a pre-order out now for like 5 Chemco RPGs all together on one disc for the PS5. So That's the thing about limited run games a lot of times is, you know, you start down a collection, next thing you know, they release 8 or 10 games in the series, and then they start coming out with these recollections. So it's a bit of a pain in the butt. Yeah, but what are you going to do? So I think that was probably 30 bucks. That was probably on the more high-end side. Can't get this to focus here. I love golf games. I love sports games. I think we've talked about that a number of times on the channel. And so, yeah, had to pick that up. Looked like a lot of fun. Oh, yeah, RP Golf Legends. Yeah, RPG that's golf-based. We already owned this, but I can't remember. One of the two of us said, yeah, we were just putting a big order together in the store, so this is kind of him and I together. Yeah, I picked up Billion Road because it just had a great title, and the characters were cute, so I was like, well, better hoard that for the collection. Oh yeah, this goes to a different buddy of ours. He collects all things Tomb Raider, and so I had already pre-ordered this. Which one's this? 40. And so I was like, well, we'll grab another copy for Dave. I know, if you know me, I know 12 Daves, but one of the Daves wanted that. Heart of the Woods visual novel. Again, you can see the aesthetic that I pick up. This was one that I had already bought before too, but, you know, it was limit 1, so I was like, well, I'm grabbing another Demon's Tilt. This series is so great. I loved playing through this. So I was like, well, we'll grab another copy of it. That'll be for sale. Maybe that'll help dollar cost average some of the things. Godstrike I picked up from Red Art Games, and so here's the Switch release, ESRB, on, you know, this platform, and so yeah, it's no different, just a twin stick shoot 'em up. So great game all around, love that. So I was like, well, just grab another copy because it's cheap. I have no idea what this is, but P-Cube is another one of those publishers. I just tend to pick up everything they have. Everything Xseed, which is now Marvelous, everything P-Cube. But yeah, just great title. Love for these clothes of desire, you know. Great stuff. So, you know, again, it's hard to say a lot about these things because a lot of them I haven't played. You know, for the most part, we grabbed 2 of those, one for each of us. And so I'm just commenting on like why we picked it up. And again, if you have it on the Switch, you might as well grab it on the PS4. So I guess we grabbed a pair of those. So there you go. That's what came in today. There is a ton of stuff still to arrive, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know. So again, let me know. What are you picking up on Black Friday? What are those deals you're seeing? What are some things that you can't believe that are coming out that are that cheap? Yeah, so there we go. We'll come back at you soon, YouTube. We'll talk to you later.